If you need some help to get out of champ this season, then you've come to the right place. I'm going to go over areas that you need to improve and bad habits that you need to stop in order to reach Grand Champ as quick as possible. Consider subscribing for more helpful Rocket League tips. First, let's look at hesitation. It's something that a lot of people struggle with even at the higher ranks. At the lower levels, you get overwhelmed and don't know what to do. At the higher level, you know what options you have, but you take too long deciding on the best action. The solution is to instantly act on the first option that comes to mind. If it's to go in and challenge, you challenge. If your gut feeling tells you to back off, then do exactly that. Don't question it, just do it and eliminate that hesitation. You will make mistakes. In fact, you need to make bad choices in order to learn what the correct choices are. As you progress and improve, you'll become more aware of the right play for the situation you're in, speeding up your decision making. Your hesitation can also confuse teammates. If you're too slow to decide, they might think you're not going to challenge and double commit. That's why even if you make the wrong choice, if it's fast, at least your teammates know what to do. Another thing that can help to stop this kind of hesitation is to play in an overconfident manner. Think of yourself as the best and fastest player on the pitch. Sometimes just thinking that you're fast helps you actually play fast. Your ground and aerial skills can also affect hesitation. If you're confident in your ability to aerial, then you're less likely to hesitate. You'll just instantly react and know what to do. So pay attention to scenarios in real matches where you find certain shots awkward and take longer to go for the ball. Then replicate those shots in custom training and practice until you get more confident. This seems simple, but it will have a big impact on how quickly you go for the ball. Next, let's look at the back wall, which is a huge weakness at the champ ranks. There needs to be someone on the back wall defending passes at all times. There's no reason for two of you to sit in goal. Usually you want the person at the near post to climb the wall as soon as a teammate has the goal covered. The person on the wall should also deal with balls that don't actually hit the back wall, but are still above the goal, as you'll be able to reach them much quicker than your teammates on the ground. If you struggle with power clears or flying off the wall, then that's a weakness you need to fix through training packs. But bear in mind, there are different scenarios you'll face. Sometimes you get caught out of position and you might not have enough time to climb the wall, so you need to intercept from the ground. Ideally, you want to hit the ball before it touches the wall, as it's easier to predict. But if it's too fast to reach, you'll have to wait for the bounce instead. Now this is a difficult skill to master, so start off training slowly. Take your time reading the bounce. Eventually, you'll want to work your way up to a level where you actually jump before the ball reaches the wall. At the higher ranks, they won't give you enough time to get a comfortable read of the bounce. You'll need to jump straight away, then predict the ball's path and correct your aerial as you're flying. This skill is well worth the practice, as you'll face this scenario in almost every game. For those situations where you're already on the wall, you'll want to practice power clears. Getting a good clear of the bounce is something that just comes with a lot of training. Just make sure the shots you practice are varied. You want the ball coming at you with different speeds and different angles. Backy's mod on PC is really useful for this, as it has a feature that changes the pace and angle of the ball every time you reset the shot. And it also mixes the pack, so you're not just trying the first 5 shots every time you play. Another thing that champs struggle with is keeping possession. They give the ball away too easily, but the way you hold possession is different depending on what playlist you're playing. Possession in threes almost always means hitting it straight away, but to a place where a teammate and not the opponent will get to it first. There's a difference between booming the ball down the field and losing possession, and booming the ball to create an attacking momentum for the team. The first one, you just blast it at a waiting defender and give possession away. The other, you blast it to where defenders aren't, so they have to rotate to get to it while your team advances and increases the pressure. In twos, there's more room to play with. You can slow it down and take smaller touches. For example, popping the ball over the guy who wants to challenge you. This does take good awareness and timing. If you do it too soon, you're just passing it to him. Too late and he just takes it away from you. Recognizing that you have time to dribble or that you need to hit it quickly is a skill that improves over time. Always pay attention to where the opponents are positioned and act accordingly. In ones, it's 100% all about possession. You almost never want to boom it or even get very far from the ball for any reason. Higher level players challenge almost instantly when they sense that you've took a heavy touch and lost control. You always want to look dangerous with the ball. If it takes you ages to get the ball under control, your opponent is more likely to challenge. If you get it moving straight away, it's more risky for them to challenge and you'll force them to give you space. One thing that I have noticed is that players with solid ground mechanics are better at managing possession. This is one of the reasons you also need to work on dribbling, flicks and 50-50s as well as aerial mechanics. You'll be less likely to panic when someone challenges you because you can pop it over them or drop it down for a good 50-50. Corners are also something that a lot of people struggle with. It's hard to predict if the ball will go towards the goal or bounce back into the middle. The key to dealing with them is spacing. Try not to creep into the corner. The further back you are, the easier it is to read and deal with awkward bounces. You don't want to be too far back though, and you don't want to sit completely still. Keeping some momentum as you rotate around will help you reach the ball much faster. I like to take wide turns. The faster the ball is, the wider my turn, and I time it so my car is close to the near post, directly facing the corner when the bounce happens. This way I'm ready and I don't need to waste any time turning my car, I can just go straight up for the ball. If you can get into position before the ball bounces, then you can just do a power clear. If the ball is rolling along the wall, then you don't need to take a wide turn, as it's simple to predict. But be careful about where you hit it. You don't want to bounce it off the wall into the middle, and you want to avoid passing back to the other team. Instead of trying to force a clear, play it smart and patient. You can take it across to the other side. You can pop it off the wall for a hard clear or a pass to a teammate. And lastly, you can 50-50. Doing a 50-50 in your own corner is actually a good tactic. Not only do you get one player to commit to a challenge, but because you're in the corner, most 50-50s will be in your favour. Sometimes they pinch to the other side, sometimes it's even and nothing happens. But it's still good for you as you just kill the momentum in their attack. So remember, you have a lot more options in the corner instead of just passing it back to them along the wall. Lastly, the most important advice I can give you to rank up the fastest is to play 1v1s. Ones will force you to improve in each area I've mentioned. It's not just good for one thing, it makes you a much better player all around. You'll learn not to hesitate, because if you give someone too much time and space, they'll score. You'll understand the importance of ground control, and that booming the ball every time just gives away possession. If you're serious about improving, then ones is something that is crucial to your journey. Unranked ones is fine if you prefer it, but remember, you're playing to improve, so it doesn't matter if you lose. Focus on fixing the mistakes you're making and you will see progress. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button before you go and check out the rest of my helpful Rocket League videos, because if you did like this, then chances are you'll like them as well.